Desperate pleas. It's a race against time. Search and rescue efforts continue in Haiti after a 7.2 magnitude earthquake hit the island over the weekend. Nearly 1,300 people killed. That number expected to rise, with thousands injured or unaccounted for. This Grace moves into the area. Forecasters expect the storm to drop 5 to 10 inches of rain across the island through Tuesday, with as much as 15 inches in certain parts of that country, impacting rescue efforts as well. Now, humanitarians are concerned about Haiti this afternoon as the death toll from that deadly earthquake again continues to rise. Our correspondent Stephanie Bertini, she is live in Miami, where many have family and friends on that island of Haiti. Stephanie, what is the latest? What's happening? What are you hearing from members there?
So the main theme right now is worry and concern. We have to appreciate a lot of people who live here in Miami aren't only connected to Haiti, but many of them used to live in Haiti. Many of them have family and friends who are, of course, still there. Many of them travel back and forth regularly. They're deeply connected to this island nation. And for the most part, they've left because the island nation has so many problems. Most recently, the assassination of the president brought on political instability, but instability is part of Haiti's story, and it has been for a long time. That country still recovering from an earthquake in 2010, still not fully recovered from that. And then this happens. Look at the video, look at the images we've been seeing all weekend. And there are relief efforts underway here in Miami and across the country because, of course, humanitarians are very concerned about how the community can recover. Over the weekend, we heard from the president. In a statement from the White House, the president said he's very concerned about Haiti in what is already a challenging time for the people of Haiti. I'm saddened by the devastating earthquake that occurred in San Luis de Sud, Haiti, and that is the southwest part of the island nation. Haitian nationals have been dealing with everything that's been going on and have also been dealing with a lot of uncertainty. So when something like this happens, damaging buildings, damaging homes, damaging businesses, you can imagine that psychologically it can be very taxing. And that's another concern people from the Haitian community in Miami have here. It's sort of like, how much more can they take? We know the death toll is expected to rise. We've been getting numbers from the government in Haiti. At last check, we've been told that is 1,297 people confirmed dead. And again, that number expected to rise. More than 5,000 people, 5,700 injured is the estimate. That number expected to rise too. So this is a fluid, changing situation. Of course, we're getting information from people on the ground there. And as the president said, the nation is kind of working to assess what's happened in Haiti and figure out the best ways to help. And of course, Tashani, as I mentioned, now we have a lot of groups and companies working on relief efforts too, to send help and aid over there.
Stephanie, this must be difficult for the people in Miami who have family and close friends in Haiti.
I think what makes it most difficult is that some people I've talked to over the weekend since this broke, they haven't heard from their loved ones. Imagine that, right? So you know a natural disaster has happened, you can't get in touch with them, and you know a lot of these people are already living in poverty. So there's, of course, the immediate concern, did they survive this? But then there's the concern, if they did, can they live through what seems to be just another devastating situation to a nation, to a society, to a group of people that have been struggling for a long time, Tashani.
Yeah, just a resilient group of people, to say the least. Thank you, Stephanie, for that report. All right, so for more on the rescue efforts in Haiti right now, we go to our BNC Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent, Nia Huck, and we also have the board chair of the Haitian Times, Vania Andre. All right, so it looks like we don't have our Foreign Affairs Correspondent, Nia Huck, but we will have her later on in the program. But Vania, thank you for joining us. Now, the death toll from that earthquake in Haiti, as our reporter Stephanie just announced, it continues to rise. What is the latest on the damage actually caused by this earthquake?
Thank you for having me. So essentially, 100 have been reported confirmed dead, thousands have been injured. And then as far as damage have been a number of structures, specifically in Les Cayes and Jérémie, which were the main cities in the southwest portion of the country that have been impacted. We see lots of toppled hospitals, which is causing a lot of problems because people are basically overwhelmed at these hospitals. There's a lot of triage and information and triage that's happening outside. And at this point right now, people are just really calling for tents and just for medical supplies.
And this is already an ongoing situation in Haiti where the country, as you know more than anyone, is already dealing from the impact of the previous earthquake. We also throw on COVID cases, malnutrition, and the simple fact that the country also lost its president to an assassination. Is Haiti capable of handling this disaster, especially with the next tropical storm looming as well?
Well, what I will say is that since the 2010 earthquake, while things are chaotic right now, there are more structures in place and approaches that we have seen that worked over the past 10 years. So, for example, the response from the US has been immediate. We have USAID in the country right now, UNICEF that's helping distribute medical supplies. The US Coast Guard has been deployed and they're doing search and rescue. So, yes, there is a real question on whether or not the country is capable to manage a disaster like this. However, there have been a number of lessons learned from the 2010 earthquake that are being implemented right now. And then in regard to, the incoming tropical storm that's coming, the major thing is that they need a lot of tents. Everyone is pretty much sleeping outside right now, even if there are buildings that are still standing. People are still having fears about aftershocks. Yesterday, there were a number of aftershocks. The reports from the ground were saying people were still lots of screaming and wailing, people still finding people that are alive under the rubble and trying to figure out whether or not they can do this by hand, some type of rudimentary tools. So right now, the situation is dire, but there have been lessons learned from past natural disasters that they are taking into consideration to help with recovery efforts right now.
And Vania, have any other countries offered aid to assisting Haiti right now? Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Mhm. Cuba, definitely. They have been one of our strongest allies in the region. They deployed, I think, something close to like 250 plus doctors that came in, I believe, Saturday night, just again to help with medical problems. Again, the hospitals, particularly in the Lekai and Jeremy area, have been completely decimated. The roads are almost pretty much impassable. So that's one thing the government is really trying to take care of is understanding how they can get supplies from Port-au-Prince, where the main airport is, over to the southwestern portion of the country.
And we also know that the country, the U.S., just sent about 500,000 vaccine doses over to Haiti. But can we talk about how aid is actually getting to the people who need it? Because there's also been an increase in gang violence as well.
So that's definitely been a challenge. We got reports from as recently as yesterday that allegedly gangs were trying to hold people, not necessarily hostage, but bribing people for passage to get through some of the passable roads in order to get to the southern western portion of the country. Yes, vaccines have been deployed to Haiti, but again, there's poor infrastructure in the country when you think of terms of roads, when you think of just places where people can go. The communication channels right now have been severely impacted because of the earthquake. So right now, what we're looking at specifically at the Haitian Times is to see, how much of an impact this earthquake and this coming storm is going to have on not only COVID-19 testing efforts, but then also any type of vaccination distribution that would have happened in the coming weeks.
I mean, you're a Haitian American here, Vania. Have you been able to get in touch with your family? And if so, what are they saying about the current conditions?
Mhm. I was able to get in touch with my uncle and my cousins yesterday. They're all fine. They are in a town that's about a few miles away from Lekai and Jeremy. their home is damaged. It's partially collapsed. They're sleeping outside, to be quite frank. And right now, for them, they're just very grateful that there wasn't a greater loss of life like we saw in 2010. And a lot of that has to do with density and building code issues that happen in Haiti, which is a much larger conversation. But had we seen the same type of density in Lacaille and Jeremy as we do in Port-au-Prince, that definitely would have been a much greater loss in life. And right now, they're just happy to have their lives, to their children are safe, everyone in their community is safe. It's just really now starting from scratch and trying to rebuild the pieces.
Well, I am glad that your family as well and that you were able to connect with them. Lastly, I mean, what's next for the island that you love? How can they recover from this? And more importantly, how can we all help?
The first thing as far as helping is, before anyone blindly gives their money to NGOs or any type of charitable organizations that will be helping in this disaster relief effort, I would say do a lot of homework and research. One thing that came out of the 2010 earthquake was a scandal with the Red Cross. Millions of dollars had been donated to them, and there was a scathing report that essentially said with all of that money, they built one home. Um, Thousands and thousands of people still under 10. So one thing that we've seen in a lot of conversation within diaspora is who not to donate to. I'm not going to say not necessarily to donate to the Red Cross, but just do a lot of your research and your homework. There are a number of Haitian-run organizations operating in Haiti. One that comes to mind is Hope for Haiti. They've been there for 30 plus years. They have a full staff of Haitians on the ground and here. Another one is Capricare. They're currently right now in Lacaille. They have unfortunately some of their staff have been injured, but they are the ones that are really trying to help with some of the medical efforts and take a load off of the local area hospitals that just really are at their wits' end.
Vania, thank you
And as
so.
far as
No, please
what
finish.
comes for Haiti next, I would say that we're on a good path now as far as the USAID being there to help, the UNICEF, the Coast Guard, and Cuban doctors. I think any international help that we can get at this moment to help, especially with recovery efforts, because things get more dire as time passes by, is right now the first step in the right direction.
All right, Vania Andre, thank you so much for joining us. And again, best of luck with your family in Haiti. And we look forward to talking with you about an update.